Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It is Friday, the 7th of August. This is our weekly recap. I hope you're all doing well and had a nice week. It's been, in general, a very bullish week. The market here has had a very nice push up. We put a new all-time high in a couple days in a row on Monday and Tuesday before we got a Wednesday, a little bit of a cool off. And I'm sorry, and then a couple days of rest here, but we've held in just fine. Didn't even get down to the 8 day. Very, very strong market. If you're looking around, the VIX is saying there's nothing here to see. You might be asking yourself, what's going on with the SPY? Why are we up? We had such a weak jobs number. It was negative 23,000 or 20, whatever it was versus expected of 83. Well, that's because this market does not want a rate hike. And the market currently believes that this a weak job number will kill any chance of a rate hike in September. I will point out that we have a long way to go until the September meeting, and a lot's going to happen between now and then. The Qs continue to lag the market overall, but recovered nicely. They're still not at the all-time high. The Dow hit a new all-time high. The IWM hit an all-time high. The banks pulled off the all-time high, but overall holding well. The 8 day JP Morgan and Bank of America are leading there. Continued constant talk all week of a deal that's close on Iran. We'll see. It hasn't happened yet, but crude is not doing much, and energy remains mostly out of play. What really has been the thing to watch has been the semis. The semis here have not really participated in this rally like everything else, and that's because we had earnings from companies like Western Digital, which honestly I just think for what's going on in that space were not as good as was needed for the move that we've already had. While they did beat, they beat barely, and their guidance was eh. SanDisk had a better report, in my opinion, but again, it got nowhere. They did hit Micron, which held in. SKHY also trying to hold in here, but weak. We saw AMD with a nice bounce, but it couldn't break the 21-day all week after that drop below it again. NVIDIA had a nice bunch of days. It's digesting here, which is good. Intel has been holding strong here and looks like it's ready to break out. The other sector we saw wake up was software, cloud space, IGV pushing back to the highs. Palantir on Monday had a blowout report, and here it is taking out that area and pushing higher. A very nice move on that. Microsoft took out its earnings report today, also strong. We saw a nice report from Team last night. We saw now moving off of this CRM, even Path, which I'm still in and now very green on, is starting to push, which is wonderful to see. Big cap tech, Amazon, digestion week, but held in well, hasn't gotten to the 8 day. Bezos dumped $15 billion worth of stock and still holding in. Meta still holding here under the 50 day. If it gets above that, that one can run. Google had a rough week, and let's just talk about it. Google got hit with news they're losing two of their people who created AI this week, and that was on Wednesday on both of them. And then on top of that, they did another $25 billion bond sale to raise more cash, and they got beaten up pretty good, but are sitting here trying to hold the 21 day. We'll see how that plays out. Apple remains mostly out of play, although it did push into that gap. Let's talk Tesla. Tesla bounced above the 8 day this week, had a nice little day today. I traded that for a bit. Still hasn't gotten back to the earnings gap, the 21 days there. That will be major resistance if we get up to there. SpaceX, for all the talk of the lockup and how this would be horrible, yesterday you had big volume and it held. And that to you is a sign. When you see a company like SpaceX on volume like that, on a big lockup, doesn't sell and never sold off and comes and moves up, and now you got moved today, that's generally a good time long term for the stock. It means while there was a bunch of sellers, there were more than enough buyers to make up for it. And here we are pushing back almost to the IPO strike price of 135, which is no longer that far away. In fact, why don't we just go here while we're doing this on here and just throw in a quick alert so we remember that. Doug, just so you know, it's not 130, it's 135. You were talking about that earlier, just so you got yourself right. So I expect us to go up there and test that later next week, and it'll be a little bit of a resistance area as we push into it. Crypto has tried to bounce a bit, trying to break 65K here, but struggling. Coin had an okay day, but kissing the gap. Hood continues to struggle to get going, but it's holding in okay. We go into next week and we're going to see a little bit of switch and stuff. I'll do some charts for you guys on Sundays. Earnings next week, we go into a bunch of you start seeing some China names show up. It's just kind of a hodgepodge week. You have names like SC in there, you have Cisco in there, SMCI who already pre-got it up, CoreWeave who has a major announcement coming up. They're alluding to on LinkedIn. You got AMAT, you have JD.com, ONDS next week, so it's kind of a interesting little week ahead. So with that said, I wish you guys all a wonderful weekend. Link in the description if you want to join us, and I'll catch you guys all in the room on Monday morning.